Hi, my name is Cary Gans, and you're listening to Starting a Home Internet Business, Part 3. Where do you live? Alright, enough music. Um, Once again, my name is Cary Gans, and I'm the creator of the Newbie Phenomenon. That's our URL, www.newbiephenomenon.com. That's where you can find all kinds of tools and tricks and software and whatnot. We'll talk to you about that a little bit later on. But the purpose of today is to talk to you about starting a home internet business. And this is the third part in, I don't know, maybe a 6, 7, 8 part series. The first and second part are on the web, so you can find them on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter, which is there's my URL for Twitter. That's twitter.com/CaryGans. And please follow us on YouTube. Become a friend, become a follower, comment, send us a video, send us a note. We love interacting. If you have any questions, we can't do too much on these little videos because they shut us down after 10 minutes. So we got to move pretty quick. So, you have any questions, please go to my channel on YouTube and let's talk a little bit. On this video, I want to talk about domains and hosting. In the previous video, we talked about getting started with the kind of product you wanted. You got to think about a business plan. You got to think about your target market, your niche. And in the second video, we talked a little bit about the type of website you're going to have, whether it be a brochure type, an informational type, a service type, a sales type, or a combination of all four. In this video, we want to talk a little bit about domains and hosting. What's a domain? A domain is your name. That's what people are going to see. That's how they're going to recognize you. So what you have to do is think about what you want your domain to look like and sound like. My suggestion is you keep it simple. You do not want a long domain name because people will not be able to type it out. They will make mistakes. They'll forget it. They'll reverse the words. By the time they get to typing it 2, 3, 4 times, they will not go to your website. So you want to keep it real simple. The shorter, the better. Don't make it too crazy. Don't put lots of numbers and letters. You want to keep it simple. Next, you want to decide whether you need this to be industry specific. If you're selling a product, if you're selling a business, a membership site, or whatever, you might want to include that in the domain name, in the URL. If this is a personal site, you might want to use your name. You might want to do both. You might want to have multiple sites, some with the company name, some with the product name, and some with your name. And then you can interrelate them and have backlinks from one to the other. That's for another video. But you might want to think about making it industry specific. Then you have to think about what kind of extension do you want on it. Well, my suggestion to you would be to keep it simple. Keep it either .com or .net. Now you can make .us, .tv, etc. But the realities are that the two major honchos in the extension game are still .com and .net. So I would also keep it to .com because that's what most people assume that you're using. That's just the way it is. So it's going to take a little ingenuity, a little creativity, but you can find a domain name with the .com extension. Now make sure you use when you register the name, you register it in your own name. Do not let the website designer register it for you in their name. If you do, you're just asking for trouble. Think about it. What happens if you decide that you don't like that web designer? You want to try a different web designer, and the domain is in their name. You're out of luck. So my suggestion to you is not even a suggestion, it's a rule. You must keep the domain in your name or your company name. Do not let anybody else hold your property. This is your business, and you wouldn't give your business to somebody. Don't give your domain name to somebody. Now, there are a number of ways of going ahead and checking for domain names. There are several sites, and most of these sites have a little application on them where you just type in the domain you're looking for, the name before the dot, and then you decide whether you want .com, .net, etc. And you click search, and it'll come up with whether or not that domain is being used, registered by somebody else, or whether it is available to you. It may also, depending on which site you use, and there are several, they may suggest to you other sites, other domain names that are available. And it may be your name with a dash after it with the number 1. It may be two names separated by a hyphen. It could be a wide variety of things. But they sometimes will make suggestions to make it easier for you. Now, please understand that there are millions of websites. So the chances are that the domain name you are looking for is taken. You will have to be a little creative to find one that will work. Now, there are a number of places that you can go to, to search for a domain name. Namecheap.com, www.namecheap.com, www.kiosk.com, oneandone.com, and GoDaddy.com are some of the bigger ones. HostGator.com is another big one. These are all hosting companies that have these little applications where you can go ahead and search for a domain name. Once you have it, I would suggest you stay with that company as long as they're a hosting company. Let them register the domain for you, and then let them walk you through their wizard to go ahead and host it for you, because that's the next topic. You want to have it hosted. That means where are you going to put your domain, your website, all those files, all those HTML files, where are you going to keep them? That's your host. So you want to know, where do you want to live? How big is your house is the first question. How big do you think your website's going to be? There are some very minor players and there are major players. My suggestion to you is that you find one of the major players. You have to assume that your business is going to grow. You're going to have greater and greater needs, greater storage needs. You're going to need additional tools and services. So you want to use one of the major hosting companies. How long have you lived there, and how long will you live there? Meaning, how long do you think you're going to be in business? Don't find a company that's only been in business 3 months. They may not be there 6 months or a year from now, and you hopefully will be. So you want to use somebody who's been in business for a while. What other services do they supply? Do they supply a shopping cart? Do they have email? Do they have FTP, etc., etc.? So you need to find a company, a hosting company, that will provide you with all the services you think you will need moving forward. Now, that doesn't mean you need to take all those services now. Most of these companies have different plans where you can start off smaller and grow with, as your company grows. So start off small. You don't necessarily need a shopping cart initially while you're designing your site, but you may need one in 2-3 months once you get your products up and running. So just think about that a little bit. And the level of support. This is a big one. You need to find a company with good support. Now, on the newbie phenomenon, we actually rate companies and give you a guide from 1 to 5 as to whether they have bad support or terrific. Terrific to me means a 5 is a company that has 24/7 telephone support. Now, that is extremely rare. There are some hosting companies that do, but it is extremely rare. Anything that has a 4, which means they have to support during normal business hours, is pretty good. You just want to make sure that you're not stuck at having a problem and then have to wait 24, 48, or 72 hours to get a response from the Philippines, because that's where the help desk is being monitored. There's nothing as frustrating as having a problem, filling out a support ticket, and then sitting back and checking your email for 1, 2, 3 days, waiting for the response. That means that your business is on standstill for those 2-3 days. So the level of support is critical. So make sure that you find a company that has great support. Now, once again, these are real brief videos. So just to reiterate, the 2 major points here, or maybe 3. One is make sure you find a domain name that really suits your company. It doesn't have to be snazzy, but it has to be something that suits your company, something that it just feels right. And then what you want to do is make sure you own that domain name. Nobody owns it but you. And last, you want to make sure the hosting company that you work with is a hosting company that's been around for a while, has a good reputation in the industry, and has exceptionally good support. The last thing in the world you want is for your website to go down and you can't get your hosting company on the phone. That's a nightmare. Trust me, it happens to everybody, and you just don't want to be in that position. So, from what we hope you do is, we hope this little video helps you out a little bit. Unfortunately, we can't go into too much detail, but you can find a lot more information at the Newbie Phenomenon at www.newbiephenomenon.com. Please take a chance and join us for just 99 cents. You can be a member for 30 days. Abuse us and use us, download whatever you want, and get a feeling for who and what we are. Then after that, it's only $27 a month. That's not even a cup of coffee a day. Matter of fact, for 99 cents, I don't think you can buy a cup of coffee anymore. But you can get a wealth of information. Now, one of the rules is you have to check back often, because I tend to put new things on, if not daily, certainly weekly. Now, we'll try to notify you by email when we do load something new, but that's getting kind of tough because we just do it so frequently. And there's always new stuff coming out on the internet. So please, if you're going to join the Newbie Phenomenon, check back often. Give us a chance, and I guarantee we won't disappoint you. Hope this little video helps, and stay tuned for part 4.